how to saddle a horse. Almost as long as there have been horses, there have been people riding them. The saddles were originally designed for function, and nowadays they are come in all shapes, sizes, and colors. This speech will affect anybody that has previously owned horses, who currently owns horses, or anybody that plans to in the future. I have been around horses ever since I was born. I have been riding horses since I was 4 years old, and I am now 17. The speech will explain some types of the saddles, the history of saddling, and how to fit a saddle to a horse. There are several different types and styles of saddles that have been designed. There are like different saddles for different disciplines. The first saddle I'm going to talk about is an English saddle. It has been designed to be more lightweight, to move freely with the horse so that it doesn't constrict it as much. This saddle right here is the English for jumping saddles, and it has longer stirrups. That way the person can sit up and move over the jump with the horse. It has no horns such as this saddle. The next type of saddle will be the Western saddle. They are completely different than the English saddle, and they're more built to keep your butt down into the seat versus the English, which is to help you get out of the seat. The types that I'm going to discuss would be reining, cutting, barrel racing, Western pleasure, and roping. The barrel racing would be a saddle like this one. It has a very deep seat and a small horn. The horn is to wrap your hand around so that as you're turning around a barrel or something, you can sit down in and grab a hold of that so you don't fall out. The roping would be the saddle like this one, which has a medium deep seat and a big horn, so that as you rope a cow, you can wrap your lariat around the horn and it keeps it so the cow can't escape. The Western pleasure would be similar to this, which has a shallow seat and it has an average sized horn. The Western pleasure normally come with silver all over them, and they are usually pretty expensive, which they can cost anywhere between $5,000 to $10,000 and sometimes even more. The endurance saddle would be the saddle like this one. It is a combination of the English and the Western. It has the English type stirrups, but it has the pommel like the Western, but it just doesn't have the horn, and it has the Western style seat on it. The history goes back over 4,000 years. EquiSearch 2002 says that people started out bareback, which would be like if I got on him right now with nothing but myself and him. The Greeks were the first people to design anything, and they only used a cloth. In 700 BC, the Assyrian warriors went into war, and they had that cloth, but it was more decorated, and they had the first things that were considered as stirrups. The tree, which would be this piece like right in here, it was first seen in Asia in 200 BC, and this they realized was helping keep their weight evenly spread onto the horse, and it was helping the horse last longer. The first leather saddle was seen in 3rd century AD, and they realized that the leather was helping keep the saddle more intact and making it last longer as well. As well as knowing types and the history, learning how to saddle is important as well. It's important for the saddle to fit both the horse and the rider. A. Pavia and J. Posnikoff explain how to saddle the horse and why all that is important. When you first start out, you want to set the saddle pad, which goes underneath the saddle. You just set it from about the middle of their shoulder to their flank area, and that's just to set onto their wethers so that it fits them comfortably. And then you'll take the saddle and you put it evenly onto the saddle pad. After you have that evenly on the saddle pad, then you can reach under here, and this girth you want it to be snug so that your saddle doesn't move at all, because if your saddle moves, then that's what's controlling all the weight on your horse. So you want it just to be pretty snug on them so that it won't move at all. And after you have that snug, then you just want to look at and that's really important to do that. And after you have that, then you would want to get on the horse and see, like measure how long your stirrups are to make sure that they fit for you and make sure that the seat fits for you. The Western Saddle Tack Shop said that there is no such thing as a perfect fitting saddle. Every horse will be different and every horse will continue to grow. It's not possible to buy a perfect fitting saddle for a lifetime. If you ride a bunch of quarter horses, which is a breed, then you would want to buy a bill that is set for quarter horses and keep it in that area. I have explained facts and demonstrated on how to saddle a horse. I have explained the types of saddles, the history of saddling, and how to fit a saddle to a horse. To saddle or not to saddle? That is the question for anybody to ask. Saddling will continue to improve for both the horses and the riders.